Before we start this podcast, I want to definitely remind you of a sponsor for Fresh is the Word, 20 by 20 Apparel. Founded in 2015, 20 by 20 Apparel brings original tributes to pro wrestling's classic arenas, moments, and events. They look to spotlight the bloopers, bleeps, and body slams along with the biggest, smallest, strangest, and strongest. In the world of wrestling where there's hundreds of shirts, promotions, flyers, social media accounts, and ads, don't get lost in the sea of parody shirts and display fonts. They can provide professional graphic design services at a reasonable price. 20 by 20 also hand screen prints all the tees in-house. So if you'd like to discuss a possible run of tees, posters, koozies, foam fingers, or even Zubaz, then drop them a line at 20by20apparel.com. That's the number 20x, the number 20apparel.com. And also check out their enamel pin line. It's super cool.
Fresh is the word.
Welcome to the Fresh is the Word podcast. I'm your host, Kelly K. Fresh Frazier, and Spooky Week continues. As my guests for this episode are Billy Obey, Joey Black, and Lee Carver, the horrorcore hip-hop trio from Ohio known as Alla Xul Elu. They're making their return to Fresh is the Word to talk about all sorts of gross and horrific nonsense, including their new album, Mausoleum, out now via Magic Ninja Entertainment. The new album is produced entirely by Detroit's own Slasher Dave. He's a producer of late 70s, early 80s influenced original instrumental horror exploitation soundtrack music, aka spooky music, and a member of the metal band Acid Witch. So we talk about how it is to work with just one producer for the whole album as we go track by track through Mausoleum. We also talk about our favorite spooky tunes and horror flicks. It's always a good and crazy time when I get to hang out with those three Zooligans. A lot of, fart jokes, I think, dick jokes, always. So I'm going to keep this intro a little short, and I'm doing something a little different. And I'm going to also be dropping the video version of this episode because we did this on Zoom. So you can see their ugly faces. And just go to the show notes on this episode at freshthepodcast.com, and it'll be embedded in there. And you'll, or you can also go to the Fresh is the Word. Just type in Fresh is the Word podcast in YouTube, and you should be able to find it. So after a short word from our sponsor, we'll get into this interview with Alla Xul Elu. All right, welcome back to the Fresh is the Word podcast. And like always, we have the freshest of guests. And from the look of these guys, they don't look too fresh. They look kind of old and decrepit. Some return guests to the Fresh is the Word podcast. It's Joey Black, Lee Carver, and Billy Obey, a.k.a. Alla Xul Elu. How you doing, boys?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Yo, I'm good. How you guys? How do Zooligans deal with this pandemic? Like this COVID-19. Does it even affect you guys?
No, Zooligans come equipped with masks already, built in.
And most of them have been to the gathering, and you always get the gathering plague there, which is very similar to COVID.
Yes,
It's nothing. We just get it, and it ain't shit.
Cough it off our shoulders.
Yeah.
We like to call it Jovid.
We were miles ahead of the mask and gloves fad.
Yeah, definitely. So, you guys have a new album out. It is called how do you pronounce it?
Mausoleum.
Mausoleum. The Mausoleum.
Zool.
Mausoleum.
A mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
The Zool part though. Just Mausoleum.
Word.
Mausoleum.
Yeah, and new album is hot, dope as hell. The whole album was produced by Slasher Dave, and I feel like it was a good sort of match for you guys. Kind of go, talk about your idea going into making this album.
I think if you want to start talking about Mausoleum, you just got to start at the concept. We wanted to deliver more of a journey, an audio concept, a horror landscape, if you will. So I feel like the records, if you take note when you listen to it, it's very seamless, transitions into a lot of different places, takes you to a lot of different zones. So
it needs to take you to the fucking glove store.
We had been wanting to work with a producer exclusively for a long fucking time, though. And a buddy of mine introduced me to Slasher Dave, who also is the lead singer of a band called Acid Witch, if you haven't checked that out yet.
Yeah.
Go peep that shit. It's like doom metal type shit. Very Halloween-centric stuff.
Yeah, Acid Witch.
We linked up with him. We listened to his record, Frights, I believe it was. We're like, holy shit, this dude makes horror movie music already. And that's kind of the avenue we wanted to go, more thematic, more of a theme to it all, to glue it together. The other records we did were kind of like pieced together by different producers, blah, blah, blah. But working with Dave, we got to actually create a full exclusive record, if you will. Dream come true.
Yeah, and it's fresh, dude. It's fresh as hell, man.
Thank you. We appreciate that. The whole concept of the record, every fucking song is death.
Like, how do you guys feel like you improved on you guys' music, you know, in comparison to the previous projects?
I feel like this one, with this one, I got it. With this one, I feel like we improved by utilizing the strategy of less is more.
Took the minimal approach, if you
Some
will.
things aren't as layered. The verses are shorter, therefore the songs kind of have more time to grab you, and then you want to go back and dive into it instead of sitting there like, okay, 5 minutes. A couple of them are long, but I feel like we took the approach of less is more, and we wanted to story tell versus try to rhyme multi-syllables and have intricate patterns and shit.
And if you notice, there's a lot more synergy on the record, if I do say so myself. It's very synergetic.
I think that's due to us sitting in the studio and basically crafting the whole record in a week, more or less.
A lot of synergy.
It was a week.
It's almost thematic shit. It's almost conceptual shit.
It's like conceptual without being a concept, if you will.
Since
there's heavy lore in it.
Since putting out your last album, The Almighty, going into this album, you've been on Magic Ninja Entertainment, and through that time, you're seeing this swell of a fan base that you're having. You know, the Zooligans, and you got people who've bought every mask, who are buying every CD, every version of the CD. They're just very passionate about you guys. You know, how do you feel about that, and why do you feel like this is happening?
That's our lifeblood.
They're passionate about us, but we're just as passionate about them. Like, we genuinely give a fuck about our fans. It's family. It's kind of like a family aspect. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're bringing back what we grew up loving, which was the camaraderie, the community, the sense of belonging without being judged or, oh, you listen to that or you like that or whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter what the fuck you're into. If you're into Zool, you're part of the family. The Axis family. But,
yeah.
We're living our dream, literally, because of you motherfuckers, because of the Zooligans. There's a guy right now that has like 50 different fucking forever faces. What the fuck?
I only have 5.
There was a point in time I didn't think we'd sell 50 to different people, let alone one motherfucker.
Right. And it's not like, and he had to be there at a certain point to get them each time. Like, that's,
yep.
Like, that is dedication.
You can kind of date how far back a Zooligan goes by how old their mask is. At least I can.
Zooligans are like trees.
Right, yeah. You look at the rings in the tree and you're like, okay, he's got 12 forever faces. He's probably been down for at least 5 years, you know?
Don't be confused. Not the rings on his butthole. That won't tell you how old a person is. Trust me.
Nah. They'll tell you a whole different thing.
It will.
That we
Our fan base is an organic thing because we naturally make music for ourselves. So when people hear it and they gravitate towards it, we know that most likely they're people cut from the same cloth as we are.
Yeah, because we're all fucked up in the head.
Yeah, in
We're
the
all
internet age, everybody reaches out and everybody connects, and it's community building. So everybody gets to know each other. You get to know your fan base more this day and age in the music business. And
we're like a tribe that lives in the jungle.
it's people that are just like us that are listening to our fucking shit. So
Right, right. Like you guys are like the next chapter within like this horrorcore sound that dates back with ICP and Twisted and a bunch of others. Was there something that you guys learned seeing how they dealt with their fan bases that you guys wanted to do? Then was there things that you saw in regards to them dealing with the fan bases that you didn't want to do, that you're like, you know what, they kind of made, like, people kind of made mistakes doing that, we don't want to do that?
That's a natural thing if you come up paying attention to something for so long. So the short answer is probably yes. But they also set, one thing's for sure, they set the fucking example. You know what I mean? Both sides set the example as far as like leading for your fans. You know what I mean? They're fucking leaders.
You can't deny what we do is directly influenced by what Psychopathic did. I mean, just look all the way around the gimmick, if you will, even though it's not a fucking gimmick. But the
not a gimmick at all.
Fans, the lore and the music, the storytelling that we grew up loving. I mean, yeah, of course, we learned a lot from them. As far as learning things that we shouldn't do, for sure. I know one thing I always want to keep true with us is that we remain humble. And if someone comes up to us and they show us love, I want to show that same love back. That's my one thing.
Right, right.
So I think there's a level. My bad. Just tag me.
Run it, baby.
Run it.
What do you got to say, Carver?
Carver, come on.
I'm not thinking that there's anything necessarily that anybody did back in the day that was like inherently wrong. But I think that there's also a level of transparency that we owe Zooligans and we owe fans of our shit because of just the age we live in, the connectivity that people have to us, especially in the COVID era of music, because it's not like I can be out at the local venue connecting with you. So the internet personality, those visuals have to step the notch up, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Not if you're gonna fucking announce a project, it needs to come out.
Right. See, like, I don't know how it was, where you guys came from, when you first sort of, dallying in music and whatnot, but you guys have definitely become like people who are, like the, Zooligans that are a part of like this Michigan, Detroit shit. You're working with Detroit artists. And one of the things that's kind of always happened with Detroit, because we're kind of like an offset of a lot of the other cities, is that whenever a lot of Detroit people got attention early on in their adulthood lives or whatever in music, they didn't know how to handle it. So there's a lot to be learned from, the previous, not just, people like ICP or Twisted, but everybody sort of like in hip hop and rap, so it's like really good to understand where they're coming from and try not to make those mistakes.
Agreed. I think a big part of that is running a good business, being a man of your word. If you conduct business with someone, you treat them fairly, kind of like the golden rule, treat someone how you want to be treated type thing. I think that goes along with being humble.
Right. So, let's just get into the album now, and let's go track by track, and just give your thoughts about each of the tracks, and we'll go from there. Okay? Hell yeah! All right. The first track on the album is an intro. It's called The End, the END.
Yes.
You know what that stands for?
Oh, I think I did know, but I forgot.
The evil never dies.
Yeah.
So virtually we started the record off with The End. Get him, Carver.
This whole concept kind of is what bore this whole album like into our heads. Like we started off with the idea that we were like, you know, inevitably the motherfuckers that catch wind of AXC shenanigans as mass murderers and psychopaths would burn down the church or try to accost the church. So what happens after that? So that's what Mausoleum is. The
We're
journey
talking about
after
the
we
end.
get burnt alive.
Yeah, I think the end was actually a concept we had for maybe a record, I think.
It turned into
But then it turned into the intro for this, which is a cool little tidbit.
It's also a bit of wordplay because that song is the end of our characters, pretty much, but it's the beginning of the record. See what we did there?
It's pretty fucking
We
clever, I
didn't
gotta
realize we
say.
did it
You
till
know?
just now, though.
I like that guy. Fun fact, the goat in the intro is actually Joe.
It is. I make that sound when you tickle me too hard.
Ooh, can you do it right now? Tickle him.
I'm only
Tickle him
ticklish
now.
in the daytime.
Should I tickle him? Should we do that?
I'm actually not. I'm not ticklish at all. It's a problem.
It didn't work.
He's
He has to be in
numb.
the booth, I think. He has to be in the booth for it.
It has to be a standing tickle.
No, that's cool though, because that's like, you know, like what they do in some movies where like you see something from the end first in the movie, and then they tell the story, and then you get the full thing at the end.
Yes.
Right? 110%.
Word.
You get it.
The next joint is the title track of the album, Mausoleum.
I think this one starts off. It feels like it just plunges you into the world immediately, like the soundscape and everything. It's very zany, but at the same time dark as fuck.
Right.
So
Yeah, I feel like this song really encapsulates the record as a whole, because if you look into the lore and you read the fucking booklet that comes with the physical CD, you'll realize that every song is actually a character or a story that lives within the mausoleum.
it's like a layer to the Mausoleum.
An exhibit, if you will.
Yes.
Talk more about that in regards to the booklet of the album, because you guys have always been good at having great packaging for your products.
Thank you.
You should see our meat.
We package it well.
Very, very packaged.
Oh,
Smooth salamis.
ew.
Lambs.
Yeah, we wanted to do something different with this record though. Like there's a poster in the booklet, which I think is super fucking fresh. We've never done that. It's a 9-panel booklet. We've never done that. But the reverse side, the lore that basically Lee built into the record is phenomenal.
Good job, Lee.
Thank you.
Pat yourself on the back.
I was
pal.
inspired by my brothers.
Zebra cakes.
Zebra cakes?
And zebra cakes.
Zebra!
Zebra cakes.
Tell me about
right.
zebra cakes. You know, and going back to Dave, it's his ability to create this fucking like atmosphere and this feeling of dread in each track, and just like this inherently dope shit that he does each time he fucking touches a beat. It was easier for us to craft exactly what we wanted each track to sound like.
So what was the sort of how did you guys do it? Like, did he make the beats first and you guys just rap over them, or did you give him ideas and be like, "Yo, we want it to sound like this because we're going to be talking about this"?
A mixture of both, for sure.
But more of the latter.
Yeah, we brainstormed a lot of shit. Like I had a huge list of names and concepts, just basically names to go off of, and I was kind of spilling them out to everybody, and they're like, "Oh, I like that one. Let's try to fuck with that. Let's make that." You know what I mean? And then Dave had some beats too that he had started. I think a couple of them he had already started or had something going for it, and we're like, "Oh, we fuck with that. You know, add that, switch up the kick here, whatever." But shout out to Dave, man. That motherfucker, like his sound, I feel like is like
Perfect.
Mikey
for us.
Clark if he never stopped, or maybe Mikey Clark if he stopped and then started again, or something.
Or Mikey Clark if you watched more horror movies.
Like all praise to Mikey Clark, but to me, Slasher Dave is our Mikey Clark, and he's gonna take the world over with us.
Right. How did it feel to have like that one producer? You know, I know you guys wanted to do that. You know, how did that really feel to just be able to, you know, bounce ideas off of just one person and have them
Felt
get
natural and right.
Yeah, that's why it took a week basically to make the whole record. Like 80% of the record we seriously crafted. We didn't write our verses and shit yet, but like all the hooks, the concepts, the beats, everything was pretty much laid out. Like we made the skeleton of the record, if you will, in a week, 6 days. And that's the difference. Like normally we'd have to be like, oh, let's hit this guy up, see what he has. Let's go on that web page, see what they have, whatever. But this time we're like, this is the song idea, kill it. And he did.
And one of those nights we were on hallucinogenics, so it doesn't really count.
And we didn't even use that beat, if you remember, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
But the intro on that motherfucker, we got to put that on the next one, yo.
Yeah.
It's some like graveyard cemetery shit. It's so fire. But we were tripping the fuck out. I remember the noise in that beat was bothering the shit out of me. I gotta go home, guys. I'm freaking the fuck out. I can't write a record right now.
I gotta go to Hospital Bell.
That's the hospital at the Taco Bell here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They
There's a
they
clinic.
combined them.
Yeah, it's like a side-by-side thing.
I think
Hospital
that's a
Bell.
good idea, probably.
Hey, fuck it, yeah.
Nice.
Have a heart attack from eating too many double stuffed burritos and hop right over there and get it taken care of.
Foreshadowing.
Or if you
Yeah, that's
need
gonna
a little
come true for
something to, you know, calm your stomach, you know, they can help you out.
Little cheesy fiesta potato, you know what I'm saying?
It's gone now.
I know. It's been gone for a minute.
Wow.
Fuck you, Hospital Bell.
For real.
All right, the next joint is Blood, Moon, and Back.
This one's about love.
That's a personal favorite of mine. And like, fun fact, the first time we ever got in the booth and recorded like gang vocals together was that track right there.
Gangbang vocals?
Gang bang vocals, you're right. We got Joe up front, I'm in the middle, Lee's in the back. That's yep.
You know what
That's how
that
we do
means? That means I left the studio with halitosis on my neck instead of my mouth.
The human Zulapede, if you will.
There's still a tonsil stone stuck to the
Yeah,
back
whenever Lee
the
rapped,
nape of
I
his
died
neck.
of tonsil stones.
Oh, you remember that one time on tour,
He
bro?
knocked the kid out with a
Fucking
fucking
knocked
tonsil
him
stone.
out with his shit.
Yeah, there was one night I was on stage and I was, doing the AXE thing with my brethren, and I popped the fucking tonsil stone, and the trajectory of it, it was like somebody granny pitched a softball. You could just see it. It was illuminated by the stage lights and everything, and it landed somewhere. But somebody has it still, probably.
It was like a shooting star, if you will.
More like a
That
shooting
came out of my
lima bean.
esophagus.
Did you make a wish?
I hope some random passerby did, at least.
Yeah, he was wishing he didn't get fucking sued for that tonsil fucking stone.
Yeah, he
Wishes
made
are
a
for
Make-A-Wish kid.
And dreams don't come true.
But yeah, Blood, Moon, and Back, I feel like anybody that's ever had that real visceral love for something or someone can relate to that. Like, the record has so many different flavors and notes to it. Like, if you can't pull something off the record and relate to it and vibe with it, I don't know what to tell you. You might already be dead.
It's one of those joints where
Then
we
you can still
kill
relate to it
bitches.
because you're dead.
True. Good point.
Right. No, that's you know, that brings something up to me because there'd be like people that will, you know, whether it'll be stuff like your guys' things or Twisted or ICP or Isham, and they'll have these songs that are about love that are about killing women, and they'll be like, this is misogynistic and stuff like that.
And I've got the answer
Fuck
for
yeah,
this
bitch.
one. I've got the answer for this one. I shut motherfuckers down with this shit.
Right.
I'm sick.
I don't have to be.
If you want to claim that a song like Blood, Moon, and Back is misogynistic or has, a wrong message, the same motherfuckers that would talk that shit, when they go home, they lay in bed, they turn on the fucking streaming service of their choice and watch fucking First 48 or fucking, like the husband that fucking killed his kids and his wife documentary that's like the #1 thing on Netflix that week or whatever the fuck.
Right.
They're entertained by that, but a song where we're obviously over the top, tongue in cheek killing somebody that we're in love with is offensive. You can suck our collective dicks.
And a lot of horror films are, have that basis too, have that storyline.
Yeah,
Where
not even films, books, TV,
but,
anything.
But what I say to people is like that it's just a metaphor, for what you're feeling. Because when you have real feelings like that, it feels like you want to kill somebody or you want to kill your partner. There's real feelings going on, and these are just exaggerated metaphors.
We have a line from our old record. It says, "How many times you want to kill a bitch?" How many times has a motherfucker wanted to kill someone that they were in love with or had feelings for or whatever the fuck? That's one of the most primal fucking that dates back to forever ago.
It might be the most primal fucking human emotion.
Yeah.
Jealousy and fucking revenge, man.
Also, if you're an incel and you're listening to this, you should kill yourself instead of the person you're thinking of killing, because we do not advocate that kind of bullshit.
Right.
No, you kill whoever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I'm at the side with Bill.
Yeah, you kill whoever the fuck you want. Just blame it on the music. But Blood Moon and Back, that's like you love someone so fucking much that you would kill them.
Yeah, and that's a real feeling though, It's
happened.
It's
many times.
It's a real feeling. It's just what you do with it, is what makes you a bad person or not.
Yeah, instead of us going out and actually killing someone, we put it on a record.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can smoke a cigarette and listen to that shit and hypothetically kill your baby mama or whatever.
Hypothetically.
I do every night.
I think my next door neighbor wants to do that to her baby mama. Our baby daddy.
Baby daddy.
Yeah, I love that song. One of my favorites off the record.
I think it's misogynistic and offensive. It should be taken down.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
You tried to get it off the record. I was like, hell nah. How many times you want to kill a bitch, Lee?
How many times?
Lee's never had his heart broken. He's too handsome for that.
Not yet.
Never.
He's immune to it with his pretty looks.
You have to have a heart for have it to be broken, Jesse.
True.
Lee Carver's the pretty one of the group.
I'm in Sting makeup underneath this.
Permanent. It's tattooed.
Wait, which Sting?
But it's not. No, it's the '80s Sting.
Drop from the rafters Sting.
Yeah.
You're not red-faced Wolfpack Sting.
No.
Yo, Wolfpack Sting was my shit, and I don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Wolfpack for life, bro. Fuck y'all.
Fuck that black and white for life, though.
I love black and white NWO too, but Wolfpack for me was special.
Kevin Nash for life too.
We're getting way off topic now.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. No, dude, we're right on topic.
No, fuck that. We're talking about the record. Just kidding.
No, we're not. Okay. The next song is a personal favorite of mine on the album. It's "Rituals of Rot." Like this shit. This shit slaps.
Why is it one of your favorites?
Yo, because that beat just slaps, and the way you guys, just ride it, man. It just, my neck just, I almost broke my neck the first time I heard it.
Don't break your neck.
My back, broke my pussy and my crack. Oh shit. Yeah, I love that shit too. It's such like an 80s fucking horror movie vibe.
Yeah.
And initially, that's what made us attracted to Dave's music. Not his looks.
Not
his
his long, beautiful hair.
Not his hair. That's our Tiny Carpenter. We love that motherfucker.
I like Small Carpenter better.
I like Tiny Carpenter.
But small and
It's the ultimate tribute to the zombie genre.
Yep.
I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel by making a song about zombies, but I like to think that it's a pretty fucking ill track about zombies.
I fucking love it. To me, I feel like that's one of the stronger story songs on the record.
Oh, 100%. It's probably my favorite track now, man. After bumping the album for a while, I love that song.
And if you listen to the beginning of the song, you might hear another song that's getting ready to come out featuring someone very important.
Named Ritz.
He dropped it on him. People guess that shit in the alleyway, but yeah, we have a song with Ritz coming out. And the beginning of Rituals of Rot is a little snippet of that.
Oh, yeah. Everybody was asking about that.
Yeah, he doesn't know he's on the song yet, though.
Why not?
Yeah, we went to his house and just hung out and kind of secretly recorded him talking, and then we pieced everything together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all from a conversation that he had with an Amazon driver.
It's fucking fire, though.
Nice. Nice. What you know, when you guys are telling these stories, how do you feel like you guys are able to tell a story in a correct way where it makes sense, but you're still able to make a song?
We struggle with that a lot. We're like, does that actually make sense? Is the continuity there? Blah blah blah. I think we just literally, we each have very strong independent minds and feelings on what we want things to sound like or what story we want to go with. And a lot of the times we kind of just, we do our own thing and somehow they fucking melt together.
Yeah. The next song on the record is Donna the Dead, featuring Monoxide of Twisted.
That's Joe Black's baby right there. He's been holding on to that song forever.
Yeah.
For a grip. And initially we had someone else collab on the record, which fit a little more thematically. Not saying Monoxide doesn't fit on the record. Of course he does. But the collab that we did have was fucking earth-shattering. I don't think anyone's collabed with this type of motherfucker in our genre, at least not recently that I can't think of any. But we had to scrap that because that person had certain views and outlooks on things that didn't align with what we fuck with. So we had to scrap that, and then we hit up Monoxide. I think Jamie was originally going to do it, and then George was like, "Hey, let me see if Paul can get down on this," and he fucking schooled it. I love what he did with it.
Absolutely murdered this shit.
Yeah, but Joe had that hook wrote years ago.
Yeah, this song is a modified version, but it works.
For sure.
It works very good.
I remember we brought that up. We're like, Dawn of the Dead, bro. That would be perfect for this record. A record about death. Fucking perfect, dude.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to ask who was supposed to be on the track, but
I wouldn't tell you.
Well, once they die, we'll put the other shit out.
But no, what I'm going to ask is, how, like, you guys had this person that was going to be on the track, and you didn't agree with something that their views upon something. How important is it that, the people that you work with, are good people, are, positive towards, the fan base that you're directing this towards, that that you're not just doing it because of the person who they are, just to be trendy
that's
or whatnot.
That's of the utmost importance.
Good question, too, sir.
I feel like if you're a piece of shit, if you're a scumbag, I don't want you around me, period. Let alone do I want you around what I'm building with my brothers here.
Why the fuck am I here?
That's a valid question.
Because they can't get rid of me.
There's not many things that would make us not fuck with somebody because we're pretty open-minded, obviously. But
there's certain lines, though.
There's certain lines and certain values that we don't want to fucking compromise whatsoever, and it's a real important part of time. So some people's opinions don't fit, so to speak, into our shit. So
let me guess, they didn't like the zebra cakes.
Exactly. they said Star Crunch were better.
You fucking nailed it. But I feel like if you work with people that are not good people, they're a direct reflection of you.
Right.
They're a direct representation of you if you work with them. So if we catch wind of anything like that, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here. But I'd like to think that genuinely, I want our fan base to be good people above all. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you got to kill a couple people. Maybe you
don't kill innocent people. Yeah, there's plenty of pieces of shit to kill.
Maybe you crack a cat in half every once in a while. I'm not mad at you.
Leave the cat
Somebody
alone.
dressed as a cat from the Cat's Play.
Do not hurt the kitties.
But my brothers right here, we're all good people. We all have very big, black, bloated hearts. And we want people like that around us for sure.
I would personally like to replace people with cats but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So yeah.
Genetically.
Yeah.
Genetically,
Oh shit! It's a
he's
new
turning
one.
into a cat.
It's a new one.
Ah!
Turn into that Stephen King novel.
Sleepwalkers.
Yep, good call.
I'm gonna have sex with my mother.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it? Hey, she was hot though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
I bet you her pussy was. Oh, never mind. I already fucked
She had a
up.
nice taco.
I bet it had whiskers.
but that was. All right, the next joint on the album is Life, L-I-F-E.
Yes. We wanted to make this one a track that you can missile drop kick somebody in the pit to. It's a very angry
If someone
song.
doesn't die in a mosh pit, we're upset because we wrote it specifically for that reason.
Yes.
It's the 2020 anthem, if you will, if you really listen to it.
I remember we were making that, and Dave flipped the "You could be a winner at the game of life." He flipped that sample in there, and I was just like, "Bruh, game over." But like that's a good example of a track that directly happened because of a concept that we had. Joe came up with that acronym.
Because I'm sad.
we threw it at Dave, and he fucking flipped it, man. As soon as I heard that sample, I'm like, "Yep, this is it."
And for the record, I am the fucking acronym god.
Boom.
How many
It's one of my favorites off the record, though, for sure.
acronyms do you got at your disposal right now?
Oh, dude, I fucking
Hit him with food stamp.
follower of other dimensions, soul taker, apocalyptic mad prophet,
Hit him
Whoa.
with ATM.
ass to mouth.
There we go. That's all you need to know.
Mind blown.
Yep.
Yo, hold up. Let me tell you something that's really going to blow your fucking mind. Leatherface. The word Leatherface. If you take the L away, it spells eat her face.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I
I
never,
know.
Fuck, yo, it happened to us yesterday. We're like, what?
I called
the
my
fuck?
mom on the spot, 3
Mind
in the morning.
explosion.
She's never even seen Texas Chainsaw. But she was still like, no shit.
Is that a couch brand? No,
Yeah.
Mom, it's a fucking cannibal killer. All right, come on.
all right, the next joint is Deathbed.
That's
Who
a
can't
sleeper
relate
right
to
there.
this one?
That's a sleeper for sure. You said that last time. Yeah, that's a sleeper hit right there for sure. I don't think any of us thought that song was going to turn out as dope as it did.
Nah. But it did
There's
turn
a
out
lot of
really
these
good. I really
tracks
do.
that
It's a
were-
good listen. I like to bump that like all the way through with my eyes closed, laying in my deathbed.
It's the only way to do it, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these tracks I feel like were kind of dark horses when we were finished with the record. This
For
is
sure.
this is probably the biggest one.
Nah, I disagree actually. We'll
Okay.
get to that track and then we'll
When we
discuss
get
the
to
thing, though.
yours, you can mention it. But
No,
I
but
think
the
this is one
bass-
of those.
Go ahead.
This is one of those that everybody can fucking relate to. Come on, you know what I'm saying? You'd rather
If you
run
got a
away
system in your whip, go bump that shit in it right now. Deathbed
I
will
done turned
rattle
my
your
shit
fucking brain.
Word. How many just concepts do you guys have, like, at any given time to pull from?
Infinite.
Holy shit!
We're
That's all we
concept
do.
rappers.
Yeah, I literally have a notepad in my phone with just like probably 100 different names and concepts and shit we could pull from.
If it's not conceptual enough, I probably won't even fuck with it. Like that's just how my mind works. It has to have lore. I have to be able to build something and stretch something with the lore for me to want to do it anymore.
We know what the next 4 records we're gonna do. We already know, and
Yeah.
and it's pretty much already planned out for the most part. Yeah, infinite amount. Like at any time we could sit down and brainstorm for 30 minutes and probably come up with a record right there.
We're
The,
idealists.
the next song is Nails.
Now, see, that was what I was just about to say. That would be my vote for the biggest sleeper hit on the album. I wasn't really feeling this shit when we were doing it, just being honest. And by the time it got done and back to me and I heard it again, I was like, God damn, this legit might be my favorite fucking track. For real.
Yeah, man.
It's in my top 3, man, for sure.
I feel like the hook when I try that has a very fucking old school ICP vibe for me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why we like it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'd say everything that we do has some type of ICP.
True. True. Yeah, I think Nails was like the last song we finished for the record. I think.
No, second to last actually.
What was the last one?
Deadline.
Oh yeah, Deadline. Haha. That makes total sense.
And which is
We'll
another
get to that. We'll
song
get to
we
that.
were worried about.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
The next joint is Rigor Erectus.
Regular wreck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
A little
sexy.
R&B flavor for your ass. You know what I'm saying?
This song kicked my ass when I was writing it. I was just so scared. I don't know why this song, like, it was really hard for me to write to this. It felt like everything I was doing was fucking wrong. But it worked out pretty good.
The mausoleum being the realm of death, you can't escape the realm of death with at least having one track about necrophilia. When we're
It's
avid
been a while since we had
necrophilia
one of them.
fanatics, aficionados, if you will.
I saw people online like comparing it to Cemetery Girl and shit. I was like, what the fuck? That's a weird choice. Like,
Yeah.
But hey, I feel like it's definitely
Just
one
because of the
most unique
subject
songs.
matter, I guess.
Headless
yeah.
Boogie, though, I would have aimed more for that if I was making comparisons. But
Definitely one of our most unique sounding songs and kind of out of left field, if you will. We're gonna try to do a video for it if we can make it happen the proper way.
times are tough right now.
Times are tough.
Getting out and doing shit's kind of hard. Right
Jovid.
We're in that Jovid pandemic.
Believe it or not, if you dig up a dead body, they could still potentially have COVID. So you have to stay far back from them. We're trying to get real close up and shoot a video.
Yes.
An unboxing video, if you will.
Ba-dum-bum.
That was a good bar.
All right, the next joint is Deadline.
That's my favorite song on the record, in my opinion.
It's one of mine.
It encapsulates what the mausoleum was in my head, at least. It's just this big realm of shittiness and punishment. Because where else would AXC go when they die?
True. We're going to have to work the fucking lines.
Yo, I saw someone online compare it to Purgatory, and I thought that was a very good comparison.
It's always been Dante's Inferno to me.
Yeah.
I got to be my inner fucking fat demented clown personality on this. I enjoyed writing. Like the way I do shit, I don't know if I've told you guys this, like every album is kind of like a different personality in my brain that I can write with. Church Azul was holy horror, and I have a personality or whatever in my head, if you will, called Necronomiclown, and that was like my little tag as him. It's also my gamer tag. Add me up.
I could see that.
Yeah. Tidbit fact.
I love that track.
Is it
Joe's
As I
off
was
his
writing,
meds.
I had a clown mask on.
Is there any anything else distinctive to Necronomicon that is different than anybody else?
Yes, I'm a clown, and they're not. that was the first time I got to toy around with that personality, if you will, and I'm looking forward to doing that again for sure. I
Joe's
like
natural
rapping
role
that
in
vocal
life. is
Like
a
you guys
jester.
know that my spirit animal is a fat, like stupid clown. You've been on tour with me,
Chain
you know.
smoking clown.
Yeah,
for sure.
chain smoking clown. You know, like when
Yeah,
I
one of
laugh,
those-
like it comes out.
Those sad clowns that are like.
Sometimes he'll be laughing. He's like,
Oh yeah. I've always had a thing for clowns, man. Ever since I was a little kid, I just always loved the strangeness of them. So
So you were a fan of Bozo then?
I was actually on the Bozo show.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
That's
really
terrifying.
was.
he was the Bozo.
No, I fucking lost. I got to the part where you had to like throw this shit into the buckets, dude, and I fucking missed. And I didn't get nothing. Not a fucking party prize. Nothing.
Fuck Bozo for that,
I
man.
know he was all old and shit, smelled like cigarettes for real. True fucking story.
Yo, Deadline, I remember we had scrapped a couple songs that we had for the record, and we were trying to like fill in, add another track because we were very adamant on it being 13. And I remember we're like, man, we're under a fucking kind of a deadline right now. I was like, wait a minute, Deadline. I threw that to Lee. I was like, Deadline would be a cool song name. You know what I'm saying? He ran with it, and that's how that happened.
The next joint is Random Acts of Violence.
I love this shit. I love this song.
Yeah, this turned out a lot better than I anticipated for sure.
It's very comic booky. Very
Yeah,
happy.
I want to
with it.
know. I want to know if the Zooligans want more of that type of shit, like character raps. You
I
know what
hope
I'm saying?
so,
Like
'cause-
different voices and shit like that.
That's my strong point.
I think that'd be a
I'm
cool
not
thing to do.
rapper.
We have a lot more fun that way. I mean, we'll go
Oh,
back to
sure.
rapping our fucking asses off and being like, skilled, deadly assassins. But we have a lot more fun being conceptual and making cohesive, like I said, just soundscapes.
Yeah, we make a lot of dark music, of course. You know what I'm saying? It's hard not to get swallowed by that darkness, if you will, when you're writing such negative material all the time. But if you're able to put a little spin on it, like a funny character or a voice or a different whatever the fuck, it helps a lot. It makes it a little fun, a little more fun.
Yeah.
Little fun.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit of an ingredient in a lot
No
of
fun.
like horror movies or anything that's kind of in the horror genre, that there's always comedy a part of it.
Yo,
You
and
have to be tongue in cheek when you're fucking nonstop murdering fucking people.
Or you'll get sued.
There has to be a sense of comedic relief to it.
I think that's what always attracted me to the ICP realm. Them motherfuckers are funny as fuck. You know what I mean? It was the contrast to it. You have the really serious, dark tone music with the comedy when you see them in person or whatever. And like me and Lee's favorite movie is Evil Dead 2. I feel like that's a fucking great representation of what we try to do with music.
Right.
Absolutely.
Perfect. The next joint is Mask Made Me Do It.
Yo, before we get into this, I want to say, obviously Dave gets a lot of love. A lot of people have been talking about Dave because he's the one that really wrangled this project and put it all together. But shout out to Zombie Aristocrats for fucking putting this beat together. This is one that makes you want to put a screwdriver through somebody's temple.
Yeah, Zombie and Dave collabed on this one. We got the beat originally from Zombie Aristocrats. And yo, that motherfucker does not stop working. Same with
He's
Dave
sick as
too.
fuck.
He
The
does
Zombie
good work.
cranks shit out. Like he's more of like on the trap side of shit. And I remember I hit him up. I was like, yo, make us some boom bap, bro. The shit you've done, I really vibe with, blah, blah, blah. Throw some boom bap. Dave heard that. And he was at first he was kind of like, I really want to produce every element of this fucking record. But I was like, yo, I love this fucking beat. So my boy came down. He did some screams on the hook and the stretch my skin part and shit. He did that, and I was like, this has to go on something, and it has to be this record. Because I feel like, personally, this song is like the follow-up to Forever Face.
We seizing up, dude.
Lee, are you seizing up? Little seizures.
Yep.
Little
I
Seizures?
think every time we have a perennial project that advances the storyline of AXE, like the continuity that is the Mausoleum story, to where we're dead as fuck now. I think whenever we have those kind of releases, there's always going to be that sequel to the fucking Forever Face storyline as well. That little subplot within the
Yeah.
record.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
could you
Talk
not
about
touch
that.
on
If
it?
there's ever any crossovers between the projects.
Yeah, absolutely.
They all intertwine in my eyes, in my mind.
The Zulaverse.
Like, you could go back to the very beginning, like the very beginning records that we did. I feel like if you really think about it, they all intertwine and exist in the same universe, which is really fucking cool. I guess that's because we made them all.
Yeah.
And there's throwbacks to shit. I mean, even if people really think about it, I write throwbacks to shit that I wasn't even on. Like, that's how cohesive and minded we are of the universe that we've created with our music.
Like, to go back a track on Random Acts of Violence, he says there's like a little reverse part and shit. That's my favorite
Unloaded
slogan.
ammunition with the lack of emotion. It's like,
And if you go back and reverse that shit, you'll notice that's a callback to our very first record. And then like Rituals of Rot, Taste Your Brain and shit, that's also a callback to our first record.
It was a head of
His head of horns.
come on, Joe.
Come on, he don't even know his own shit. Come on, guy. What are we doing here?
I smoke drugs, man.
I smoke drugs.
Want to go
Drugs.
smoke some drugs?
Yeah.
Smoke some drugs, man. Go
Marijuana
ahead.
drugs.
Get comfortable, Joe.
I didn't
Take
bring
your
any.
shoes off, dude.
I didn't bring any weeds.
Any weeds? Weed.
No weed.
He's always got the crack, though.
Relax your feet.
Butt crack.
But
I
yeah,
got nothing
definitely.
butt crack.
We're trying to build a universe with what we're doing, and there's always going to be nods to our old shit. And I think the most diehard of Zooligans will pick up on them and really appreciate them.
Word.
That's why we put them in there.
And the final song on the record is The Harvester, and I think this is an amazing song to go out on the record in.
Thank you.
That guitar really adds a lot to that, I think. It gives it that final feeling, that finality that it needed to end the record.
Mr. Carver once again bringing the concepts and the rhythms.
The Harvester's death itself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's the avatar of death.
Tell him what he looks like again. You haven't told people enough. What does the Harvester look like?
See, the thing is, we can show you what the Harvester
The
looks
game is to
like,
be sold, not to be told.
but eventually you would have to hear about the Harvester again, because if AXC stays dead, then there's no more albums. But you know we have albums playing, so obviously we have to escape from this hellish place. But the Harvester is the entity in the Zoolverse, basically, that is the avatar of death itself, the Grim Reaper. Scythes for fingers, cutting your lifeline, harvesting souls. He
3,000
watches
foot tall.
Yeah, he watches over the mausoleum. Basically the end motherfucking boss, if you will.
Or is he? Oh.
So, you know, when you guys were, putting this album together, how much thought did you go into the sequencing of it all?
That's all, Bill. I don't know what that word even means.
We debate a lot about the track list of things, on the track list side of things. And when we all agree upon it, that's when it gets finalized, usually.
Balance.
Yeah,
There's important.
Exactly. There's a lot of different factors, but the main one is balance for sure. Like, you don't want all your hype songs to be on the beginning of the record. You don't want all your chill songs to be grouped together. You kind of want to make it a roller coaster, if you will. Another thing that bugs the fuck out of me when we're trying to put tracks together and shit is like how the names flow. When you read the list of the record, how it looks visually, even though that's kind of secondary to how it sounds together. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't put my finger. I can't put my finger on the intangible what we're trying to achieve when we look at this symmetry of a track list, but you know,
that's me, bro. That's me.
No, I get it too, bro. I'm with you, man. We've had this discussion
multiple times.
Weird. It's weird.
I'm sure we'll have many more in the future too.
It's a weird nuance, though. It's like we want the track list to look good, but it also has to take us on the journey that we set forth and wrote out. So we just have a lot of fun writing conceptual shit, man. I can't stress how much fun we have writing conceptual shit, stuff that has substance to it.
Yeah, real talk. I feel like when we work together, it's some kind of otherworldly force that kind of just helps us guide shit where it needs to go. And it fits like that. I don't know. Maybe it's the devil. Maybe it's God. Maybe it's fucking, I don't know, zebra cake.
It is the ghost of Aleister Crowley guiding us, pulling us, pushing us further and farther.
How important was it to have a song like The Harvester, end the record? Because a lot of the classic horrorcore records had a really different, way of closing out the album. You had renditions of Reality, Pass Me By, I'm All Right, Darkness, I'm Coming Home, There were great ways of closing out the record, What was your guys' thoughts about how you're going to close out this record?
Well, that's a perfect blueprint. There's no reason to change it.
Yeah, that goes back to your question you asked earlier. Like, we learned that from them. Something I always appreciated about a good classic underground horrorcore record was 9 times out of 10, it had that finality to it. A roller coaster, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, the ride's finna be over. So you have to kind of signal that with the audio.
When all good things come to an end, and when they do, it's almost always a solemn experience. You're not all like, ah, It's kind of like
you're kind of reflecting.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we knew that this had to be a bleak event. Like, this album couldn't end with us just being like, yeah, aggressive. Because at the end of it, we're still stuck in the mausoleum. The mausoleum door slams, that's the end of the record. So if you really sit and analyze it and listen to it, it has to be bleak and fucking horribly desolate feeling, because we don't win in the end.
So everyone's familiar with the guitar on the track. Shout out to Dave for doing that. But one thing that I love to do is I picture Slasher Dave with his long, beautiful hair standing on a hillside somewhere, and it's like the silhouette, like the moon's behind him. You see the silhouette of the hillside and him, and he's just up on top of it playing that fucking guitar, baby.
It's like the Nightmare Before Christmas hill.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the picture.
It's kind of like The Crow, too.
In front of him, taped to the tree.
Yeah.
You got to have your box fan.
Yeah. I feel like all people who have long hair like that, they should have to have, by law, a fucking portable little fan to blow their hair around and look all majestic at least twice a day. When the sun sets, at least.
Yeah, the end of The Harvester where Joe's doing that little like spoken word poetry shit. I remember I was very adamant about putting that in there because I wanted to slow it down at the end. And I really wanted to nail home the fact that one thing we all have in common in this motherfucker. You said toenails before. That's not true. Some people don't have toenails. So the one thing we do have in common, though, as
I have some ugly toenails.
Creature, we die. Death. That's all. That's something we all look forward to. Maybe not, but it's something we all have in common, and that's why I love this record.
What do you hope your fan base, the Zooligans, get out of this record in particular?
The same thing they get out of all of them. Gratification. Satisfaction.
Hopefully they can go to prison and they can flash this record and get out of prison real quick. Hopefully, something like that.
I don't know what kind of prisons you're going to. That's not how it works in the ones that I've been in.
I'm hoping here, Joe.
I've never been to prison, for the record. I was just kidding.
I'm hoping.
I think it's just blatantly obvious that we're going on a journey and we're trying to make things as fresh as fucking possible.
What?
Of course, we want them to feel satisfied with their purchase and everything, though. We want them to feel like satisfied, I guess you would say.
I don't give a fuck. If you buy the record and you don't like it, fuck you. Keep it moving, baby.
But you're not getting a refund.
Hell fucking no. You can fill out a form, but we ain't going to read it.
That they feel some sense of unity, though, after bumping our shit.
Yeah, we made this shit for y'all, for the Zooligans, the people that fuck with us, man. Like, if you guys feel what we're doing, it's because you've been through some similar trial in your life.
We suffer in similar ways. Is what brings us together.
We are one.
When all of us were coming up in life, and we're listening to stuff like ICP and Twisted, all that type of stuff, there was definitely a time when, there was a stigma around that music. They were very much hated on. But we're now in a time period where they're looked upon as, legitimate musicians after their longevity, and people are not as much, hating on them as much as they, did in the past. When you guys think about like the music that you guys are doing, do you guys hope to, cross over into like other fan bases that might not necessarily, dig this type of thing, but you guys might be that different artists for them?
I think that it's an inevitability that it happens, but we want it to happen organically. We're not trying to compromise our art or to fit some sort of mold or to get on some sort of Spotify playlist or whatever the fuck is an accomplishment in today's fucking music industry. But I mean, we want to work hard enough to where we are a household name. And, our predecessors, people that, built the fucking path that we walk, they did that. And I think the acceptance level is just people being more open-minded, people understanding that, like, horror rap doesn't have to be completely fucking schlocky bullshit.
I've said it 10,000 times. I feel like if we believe in what we're doing, other people will believe as well. You know what I'm saying? You got to talk the talk. You got to walk the walk. And hopefully people continue to walk with us. Our fan base is growing. The Zooligan army is expanding. The horde is getting larger every fucking day. We're not going to stop, but in my heart of hearts, if we never got another fan ever again, I wouldn't give a fuck. The Zooligans is more than enough.
Right, they're a passionate
That
bunch.
being said, buy our fucking record.
Buy the record.
Mausoleum out now, digitally everywhere.
MNEstore.com, longliveevil.com, iTunes, Amazon, MP3, all that, whatever, Napster, all that shit.
Changing the subject.
Huzzah, LimeWire.
Changing the subject a little bit. Since we're in the the Halloween season, the season of the pumpkin, it's almost Halloween. What is your guys' favorite? Let's start with this. What is your favorite spooky tracks? Like songs that are just spooky.
Ooh,
from anybody.
songs.
Honestly,
Spooky
I've never
songs.
really. I'm a movie guy, so like in the Halloween season, I watch like Halloween themed movies basically only. They don't have to even be scary. It's like Charlie Brown shit, whatever.
Yeah.
If it's Halloween related, I'll fuck with it. That pretty much applies to music too. If it's just Halloween related, I'll listen to it during the seasonal time.
One of my favorites is the motherfucking Monster Mash. I love that shit,
Was a
dog.
graveyard
And
bash.
what was the twisted track? Green Pumpkins?
Yeah.
That was one of my fucking favorites growing up. I love the instrumental on that shit. Something about that track always fucking grabbed me.
My favorite Halloween songs in this particular order: Green Pumpkins, Halloween on Military Street, and Halloween by the Misfits.
I guess I never really like listened to Halloween shit. I don't know. Every day is Halloween. I think it was every day. Yeah,
That's
was my
Ministry.
shit. Ministry's the
okay,
fucking
yeah,
shit,
hell
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, if I could add a fourth, it would be Fuck Halloween by Half-Breed.
I really love this track called When the Tombs Creak Open. You'll hear that in a couple days, though.
Ha ha.
Didn't Marilyn Manson have a dope ass Halloween track? Like this is Halloween.
Yeah, he redid the Nightmare Before
Yeah,
Christmas.
that shit was dope.
Yeah, that's
What is some of your favorite Halloween movies?
Halloween.
Trick
Like
or
horror
Treat.
movies, just in general. Like
Trick
any.
or Treat's the Don Dada in my book of Halloween movies. I mean, yeah, Halloween, Michael Myers is very close, but for me, Trick or Treat is the Don Dada.
For me, it would have to be Lady in White. And there's another one. Something Wicked This Way Comes is what I watch with my kid
It's
a
a
lot
great movie.
during these seasonal times.
Yo, shout out to Halloween Town. Everybody's like Hocus Pocus, Halloween Town, motherfucker.
Well, Hocus Pocus is how I start my October. Like October 1st every year. That's
I mean,
we watch.
we don't even have to say Hocus Pocus, man. Everybody knows that.
Right.
But if you haven't seen Lady in White, man, look into it. It's fucking legit. It's one of my favorite ghost movies, and it takes place on Halloween as well. It's fucking sweet.
What was the one film? The house that October built?
The House is October
Very
Built.
good,
Part
man.
is
I love
good.
that
The
one.
sequel is a cash grab. Stay away from that. But yeah, House is October Built is dope.
Halloween
Norman,
3, goddammit.
Monster House. I like a lot more lighthearted shit around Halloween. Man. I kind of like go for horror movies all year round, and when Halloween hits, I kind of watch the more kiddier shit.
I have to
No,
watch
I'm looking
Halloween
at it.
3 and Halloween 6
Halloween
every
3 for sure.
Halloween.
I always
I watch
love
it
the
too, every
the
year.
Garfield Halloween special.
I don't think I've seen that. My
And
kid
every
loves
year,
Garfield, though. Thank you.
every year I have to
They-
look up
they-
fucking Tim Curry.
They uploaded all the Garfield specials onto YouTube,
Nice.
so you can watch them all on YouTube.
That's
Yo, one of my favorite things to do is to get on YouTube and look up old sitcom Halloween specials like Family Matters and fucking Real
Roseanne.
House and shit. Yeah,
Roseanne
Roseanne
had
had
the
some
fucking best.
fire ones,
Yeah.
bro. Oh, man, I got...
Yep. But Tool
Going home and
Time
doing
has
that.
some fire ones too, man. For Home Improvement, excuse me.
What is some of the dumbest horror movies you've ever seen?
That one
Oh, God.
fucking Annabelle movie we went and saw on tour. in Canada.
That was such
That's
a
to be
fucking
one of-
trash bag.
Like modern horror
And it's
has
the
to be
highest
that Annabelle sequel. The latest Annabelle sequel is one of the worst fucking movies I think I've ever seen in my
It was
life.
even a bad Goosebumps episode.
Yeah, it was like everybody's like, oh, Troll 2. Like, it's worse than Troll 2 in my opinion.
But it's the highest rated one on fucking Rotten Tomatoes. It's so dumb.
That's
I'm gonna go
because
ahead and say I enjoy Troll 2, for the record.
absolutely.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I remember that they were billing that as like the worst movie ever made.
No, it's the worst best movie
Or
ever.
the worst, yeah, okay,
Worst-
the best worst movie
Yeah.
ever made.
Best worst.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What
Bratwurst.
what are some other best worst movie like horror movies ever?
I'm trying not to watch
Halloween
that movie,
3.
man.
To me, that's the quintessential bad, greatest movie ever made.
I think Halloween 3 would have been a good movie if it wasn't called Halloween 3. Though.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets a
Really?
bad rep because people were expecting
Yeah.
Myers. It's a great movie.
I think
though,
Tales
for
from
sure.
Halloween's probably like the best, worst modern Halloween movie for me.
I don't know. Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg.
That's Christmas. That's
He
wrong
didn't specify
holiday.
that.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe he did, but whatever.
Wait, is it a horror movie?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh,
See?
I thought you
See,
said Halloween
motherfucker,
movie.
see?
There's no redeeming
Perfectly
qualities.
acceptable.
Well-
Santa's Sleigh featuring Gil Goldberg.
Gil Goldberg.
I ran with it. Fuck
Gilbert.
it. Gilberg, oh shit.
Gilbert.
I'll tell you a movie that sucks that everybody loves. Fucking Freddy Got Fingered.
Fuck you.
I know, but
Now I'm crazy.
it's a horrible fucking movie.
Yo, you know a movie that I fucking miss? Talking about like Halloween shit. Ernest Scared Stupid.
Just watch it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fucking
Never
banger.
on anything.
I got the Blu-ray collection of a lifetime, my friend. You can borrow whatever you want.
Oh, now that's a flex.
It
Yeah,
is.
you heard that.
Got the Blu-ray flex on lock.
I do.
Joe has a very vast movie gallery, and we like to call him Blackbuster.
Black. Speaking
With
of
a
which,
13.
how's the presidency campaign going on?
I won. We just haven't announced it yet. We're going to do that soon. Everyone's dead. All of my contemporaries are dead. So I won. But I've already wrote the acceptance speech. I'll be slapping you with that at some point in time in the near future.
Oh,
The main reason he won is because of the yard signs, though.
Yes. They were poisoned.
So shout out to George and Magic Ninja for making that
Yes.
happen. Super
Thank you.
fresh.
Super.
And you can
fresh.
still buy them on MNEstore.com.
Yeah, a lot of people are swayed by political road signs, yard signs.
Yes.
I think the next record we do, we're gonna have to make something similar to that.
yeah, that's gonna be the new way of promoting. Because online there's all these algorithms and everybody gets kind of flushed out. You got to go back to some street team and do the presidential signs. Grassroots, literally.
I'm trying to get like stencils made for people to go fucking bomb graffiti everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to hand deliver records to people's houses and shit. Next level guerrilla marketing.
How
I want
old
you to lull your children to sleep with a Joe Black hand puppet.
Oh,
Exactly.
oh boy. That's scary.
You have no idea, my friend.
What song would you sing to, put him to sleep?
Probably something from Deicide.
Oh shit. A little bit
I
of
think
Morbid
he meant
Angel
to
in
say
there.
Eiffel
Yeah.
65.
A little merciful fate.
Merciful.
Little 6 feet under, you know what I'm saying?
Chris Barnes is dead.
Eiffel
Not really.
65.
Long live Chris Barnes.
Long live Crease Barnes.
Barnes. That's what I name my khakis when I'm feeling gangster.
Yo, what up, Crease?
Chris Barnes.
Yeah. Outside of like any of the music that we've talked about, what are some of your favorite music to listen to? Whether it's stuff you grew up on or stuff you just still listen to.
Of course, ICP and Twisted. The shit we grew up on. For me, as I get older, man, my fucking musical taste is getting very bizarre. But so I'm
Same.
not going to name anything. I'll let Bill take over.
Recently, I've been loving Blue Oyster Cult. I grew up listening to him and shit, but like recently I rediscovered him and holy fucking shit.
That probably is my favorite band of all
I'm
time.
enamored with them motherfuckers.
They were
I
Led
absolutely love them. An all-time favorite of mine is Korn. I listen to Korn all the fucking time. Slipknot. I love Daft Punk is my fucking shit. Deadmau5 or however the fuck you say that shit. He's fucking dope. I fuck with a lot of shit though. Mainly that's it.
Right.
My favorite band is Alla Xul Elu.
Oh, you Mark.
I can't help it, God.
It is his actual real name.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Honestly,
shit, I'm about to
I haven't
fuck
really
you up,
been
Mr.
listening
Carver.
to a ton of shit right now because we've just been in the creative zone. Whenever I write, I really don't listen to a lot of other shit. But
Yeah,
I'm with
I
Joe
don't.
though. I'm getting old and my fucking musical fucking taste is changing and going in weird directions. I've been listening to a lot of fucking Neil Young lately.
Hell yeah. I've noticed that like the more that we make music, the further along in our career we get. I tend to stay away from rap shit.
I try to tell you. That's what happened.
I want to listen to something different with a different
Hip
pulse
hop
to it,
fucking
you know what I mean?
melodies, man.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Hip hop's trash to me right now, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not
There's
even
nothing
referring
in
to like
hip hop that
current shit
inspires
though.
me.
I'm referring to rap in general, even in like the old shit that we grew up on. Like, I find myself going towards something completely different than that.
I'll tell you some dope shit to look for though. Fucking Church of the Cosmic Skull, they're dope. Oliver Tree's killing it right now. Fucking Skinned. There's a lot of dope.
Skinned is
yeah,
dope.
there's a
I
lot
love
of
all
dope
those
alternative
videos.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
The way that they flip that by making songs about real cases and real shit that happened, that's so genius.
I'm sure it
man.
gets them into some trouble, but yeah, it's super, super dope.
I mean, it's no worse than making a fucking documentary about Columbine or something.
Right.
Well, I guess it kind of is, but
they're
you know,
glorifying.
yeah, they're
People say they
glorifying it
glorify
regardless.
shit.
Yeah.
But that's just what snowflakes say as they melt.
Ooh.
We fill our bong with the melted snowflakes and
Yes.
take giant rips from it.
Oh, shit. Well, all right, fellas, man. I don't want to hold you up any longer, man. It's been great talking with you. You're one of my favorite guests to have on the podcast.
Thank you. Our pleasure, man.
The new record,
Absolutely.
The Mausoleum, is incredible. Everybody go cop that shit instantly. And it'll definitely melt your face off.
True.
Thank you.
It might melt your brain out of your head.
It's a good way to treat your acne, for sure. You know,
Right.
fellas and young ladies.
And I know if you've already plugged your own shit many times, but one last time, where can people go get the record and follow you guys online?
You can follow us at all social medias, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, all that fucking bullshit, / Alla Xul Elu, ALLAZULELU. I said Z, I meant X.
What?
I meant X. I fucked that up.
Damn.
He watched Ghostbusters recently. He's spelling it correctly now. It's okay.
Ah, god damn it. You fuck up sometimes. Alla Xul Elu, I'm sure it'll be in the description of the video. You just copy and paste that motherfucker wherever the fuck you listen to shit. Or search shit, whatever. We're on Pornhub, all that shit. OnlyFans, hurt me bad. We don't give a fuck. We are the Alla Xul Elu.
Yo,
Happy early Halloween to all you motherfuckers watching. I don't know when you're going to release it, but either way, happy belated or happy early Halloween. Thank you for having us on the motherfucking podcast, K-Fresh. We appreciate you every time.
Every time. Not just some of the times. Every time.
Every single fucking time.
thank you for listening to the Fresh is the Word podcast, hosted and produced by myself, Kelly K-Fresh Frazier, empowered by Anchor at anchor.fm/Fresh is the Word. Fresh is the Word theme music provided by Steve O. You can find more of his productions at iamsteveo.bandcamp.com, and that's EYEAMSTEVEO.bandcamp.com. Fresh is the Word is available on all major streaming platforms. Please rate and review on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. If you want to support Fresh is the Word, please consider pledging via Patreon at patreon.com/freshisthe-word. Follow Fresh is the Word on social media on Twitter at Fresh is the Pod, on Instagram at Fresh is the Word Podcast, and join the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Fresh is the Word. For more information about Fresh is the Word and our other podcasts, Breaking Records and Renaissance Soul, and a collection of pop culture articles and reviews, please visit freshasthepodcast.com. Thank you for listening and your support. Goodbye and good night.
Fresh is the word.